Four-horse race coming up in the next at Mornington, and Juarez, who won very impressively last time out at this track, looked to be under sufferance at the 200 but dug deep, and a $2.25 favourite to make it back-to-back victories. Jessup on the second line of betting at $3.40 with Milo. Of that duo, Jessup has been the better back today. And Mystic Mac, a $9 chance, is the rank outsider of the small field at that quote. Now, as I said, just the 4 runners go around here. And if you punch in the code RACING, you have a fixed odds win bet today at Mornington through the Ladbrokes account, and run second, third or fourth, get up to $50 in bonus cash. So a nice little safety net if you're investing in the next. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
Safety net indeed, Quinny. So money back, top 4.
I'm no scientist, but that means you're getting your money back, doesn't it?
Field of 4. Craig Williams has come out for one ride. Juarez,
he is. Willow up to the Peninsula for just the one ride. This is a pretty tough win. I thought Capital X sort of had it on toast there for a little bit, but kept finding, and this was quite a solid win. This is back on the 12th of November. It's had a jump out since then as well, and that was in the Acromantula and Maximum Power jump out. So it's gone around again just to keep the fitness up a little bit. It looks pretty well placed, but as we know in these small fields, 4 horses can bring you undone.
Well, they can throw up a funny old result, a small field, can't they? Yeah.
Well, we saw one on another screen in Ipswich a little bit earlier, didn't we?
We were
watching off for a 4-horse field, and I think a 30-1 shot lobbed. So.
Let's fill the punters with some confidence. Let's go to the mounting yard. Let's see what's in store. 4 runners.
This mounting yard is brought to you by Winning Post, Australia's biggest selling racing newspaper.
Well, race number 6 of the program is 11 minutes away. We have got a field of 4. So, Sam, you've got all the time in the world. You can go through race by race, if you like, for our 4 runners. But let's start here with the 2 in Mystic Mac. Hey, great to see the name Ma back in the trainer's form guide as well. All the brothers are banding together and going to base themselves out at Pakenham in the coming months.
Good story on the racing.com website about that. Well, there was a good chat, I believe, on Tuesdays with Terry yesterday, which was on Tuesday, funnily enough, that show. And I think Olivia Coles typed up a little bit of story on it. So if you go there, you can read a little bit more about that. But Mystic Mac here, actually Mark Morrison. Do you remember Return of the Mac? That was a good song. You would have grooved to that, Quinny, disco days.
Don't think I was born.
Return of the Mac?
No.
Please.
Keep going. I know we're padding, but...
Yes. It's real 4-horse stuff, isn't it?
Good Queensland form. Before coming here, it won a Doomben Maiden and then went to Class 1 level and won again. The thing about that Class 1 win at Doomben, it had every possible favour to win that. It's had 2 jump outs down here. Both have been solid efforts on the new home track. The form in Queensland sound. The latest win might have been a soft one on the fence, but comes here off good jump outs and ggets every opportunity.
Geez, I didn't think we'd be playing catch-up with the graphics and the cameraman on a 4-horse field. We've already skipped ahead. Here's the 5 in Milo.
Well, I thought it was soft in the market, and it was a plain return last time out at Ballarat. It was back and ridden along to keep up last start. It won a good maiden last prep. It's only had to 3 starts. Won a handy enough maiden, short in the market, rated well, reasonable time, okay. Then went to benchmark 64 level, got a long way back behind Written Blind, was very, very ordinary spell. And I thought it was ordinary returning. It's been getting too far back in those runs, but the beauty of that 4-horse field here is it's going to be a lot closer. Today's a bit of D-Day for me for this horse, though. I don't love what I've seen in the last 2 runs, but today it gets an opportunity to sit much closer.
So I think we'll be coming back to the 4 in Jessup, who I can see has entered the mounting yard. So in the meantime, let's go to our favourite here in Juarez. This is the horse that Nick Noonan on the top of the broadcast was keen on today. Craig Williams comes out for the 1 ride and has had a jump out between runs. That was the first up win here at Mornington.
Yeah, that was a good first up win. We just had a look at that. It was a tough grinding win on Capital X. Capital Alex, it's a hard one for me to say for some reason. The synapses don't quite join up. First prep was solid enough, ran 3rd to Earth God, was well beaten in probably his best performance last prep. Was probably lucky that Earth God was scratched from this event, but it's drawn forward, Willow in the saddle. It's going to roll forward, be up on speed, you would think, but as we know, these are small fields, tactical battles, so I'm expecting it to go forward and hold the fence, but that remains to be seen.
Looks in terrific order, doesn't he? The 3-year-old son of Lonhro with the sun shining there on the coat.
You wouldn't need to look at the form guide to know who he's by.
Yeah, he is a cracking individual. Juarez, he'll look even better for the punters if he can salute this afternoon. The horse we missed in the 4-horse field. Here he is, Jessup, who got on a winning run a little bit earlier in the year for Sean Mathrick, stringing together a a series of wins. The blinkers going on this afternoon. Sage Jurek takes the claim.
Showed ability early in its career through the Super Stars series or the Super Maiden series that's at Pakenham, and that was for the former stable, and then became a bit frustrating after that. Matthew managed to get the horse into sort of some winning form, but then won its way up to that sort of 64-70 level where it's been batting around early in this prep, and that's probably its mark. I think it's tapped out there. It comes back in class a touch here on some recent racing. It gets the blinkers back on. It gets the Sage Jurek 4 kilo claim. I think my only concern is that the best form for this horse tends to come when it can get its toe into the ground. Those are the best sort of ratings that it produces. That said, blinkers on, whilst they're no magic bullet from the past, they always seem to improve it a touch. So it's another one who's a live chance at its absolute best, coming off a solid enough Caulfield effort.
So there is a look at our 4-horse field here for race number 6. Sam, you haven't had to cut anyone. We've got a field of 4. All you had to do was move the magnets and put them in the right order.
I'm confident if you box them, you'll get the first 4.
How'd you go about moving these magnets?
I originally had Earth God on here as my best of the day. So when it came out, Boades, who was beaten by it last prep but won well first up, went to the top slot. And I've got no reason to think that Willow can't sort of control the race from up on speed. Mystic Max got a bit of a question mark coming from Queensland and some of that form up there. But on face value, it looks like it's raced well enough. Jessup gets the blinkers back on. I think a couple of these horses might be better than it at its best. And like I said, D-Day for Milo, for me, I've not been impressed by the last 2 starts, but it's going to sit much closer. And this is the day that it can improve.
Well, if you do like your favourite, you're now getting $2.20, just trimming up late in betting after $2.30 was available not too long ago. Has been the best back runner overall. As we've said multiple times, it's a field of 4, and Jessup's been the one that's trimmed up late, $3.40 into $3.10. Milo's gone the other way as a result, now $3.90, and Mystic Mac an $8 chance. So not a huge amount of market movement since we last checked in on the betting. The firmer has been the second elect, the now outright second elect, Jessup number 4. Just a reminder, if you scan that QR code or punch in the code RACING and you run second, third or fourth, get up to $50 in bonus cash.
So, race number 6 on the program. We are 6 minutes to the jump and horses are making their way out onto the track here with 3 races to go. There's a horse in the last race that I think we're looking forward to seeing in Scotty's Legacy, Sam, who was another one of your better bets on the program and got a bit of a form enhancement a little bit earlier on in the program in Eclipsion winnings. So for those that have just tuned in and wondering what's to come in the back end of the program, I think Scotty's Legacy is a good one to keep an eye on.
You can just see that horse shortening too, can't you, late in the day.
Yep.
Especially when Quinny's great red team have given cash back all day. Any cash backs I'd be lining into that. He looks very, very well placed. So he's the one we're looking forward to. As you say, we saw the upgrade in the form a little bit earlier. Whilst it wasn't overly convincing in a soft race, it definitely looks a little bit better on paper, and that looks a progressive type. It's probably Azizel and Scotty's Legacy were the 2 that I was most keen on seeing today. So we're 1 down, and hopefully we've got a few fuller pockets after Boades, so we can steam into this thing in the last.
Nick Noonan, one of his first days on the job here for us on racing.com. We should just leave him to let roam. 4 trainers go wrangle them together. But he's done some wrangling, and I think you've found Chris Marr. Good to see the Marr name back in the form guide in Victoria, Nick.
Yeah, Chris is your first runner in Victoria for a while. What can you tell us about Mystic Mac?
Well, in Brisbane, he's been an honest little bugger. He's got good form at Doomben. His last sort of 4 or 5 starts. So we're coming here today. Obviously, we've got a decent weight, but I think whatever he does today, he'll definitely improve on.
Chuck the crossover noseband on him today?
Yeah, just want him to just relax a little bit. He can sort of bounce and want to be a little bit fierce. So we're mindful of the fact with the 61, we don't want to be sort of working back to front, and we want to sort of see him hitting the line as opposed to getting to the 100 and fading. So hopefully he does that.
Did note when he did win his maiden, you put the visors on him on that occasion from the blinkers. Can just be a little bit of a gear change that can help those horses out, isn't the visors?
Yeah, he was sort of probably got a little bit lost with the blinkers, so we just thought the visors, just that little bit of a gap where he can see, and it seems to have done the trick. So we'll keep them on him for the time being, but hopefully in time we might be able to take him off. But as of now, we'll just leave them on, and hopefully he can continue to run well.
Good to see your name back in the racebook in Victoria. Good luck today.
Thanks very much.
We'll catch up with Nassim Dilmi as well from Godolphin. Boades, good winner here last start. Looks a good race for him. Barrier 1 may be a little bit tricky. What's the instructions to Craig?
We left it up to Craig. Obviously, if the horse bounces out pretty quickly, we're happy to lead. If horses around him wants to kick up, then he'll just be behind the leaders and Craig can do the rest. But the horse has bounced well from his win last time. He had a nice jump out at Flemington when the Geelong, although we did scratch because the track was heavy, but the meeting ended up being washed out anyway. So we gave him a nice jump out that week, and he's done him really well. He's benched really well from then, and hopefully can win again today.
Even looking at him in the yard, he just looks like a horse that's going to continue to improve from more racing and throughout the campaign.
Yeah, certainly. He took a lot of improvement from his win. That gave him a lot of confidence, and hopefully he can do that again today.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yep, so good to get the insight there from a couple of our representatives with runners here in race number 6 on the program. And, well, you've got 4 runners. Who's going to set the tempo, do you think, here, Sam? Or do we have one that could throw a spanner in the works, do you think?
Well, as our man Nassim just said,
yep.
Buate's happy to go and lead if something wants to take it on. Yep. Maybe, Sean Matherick's a wily bugger, isn't he? So does Sean, with the blinkers on...
4 kilo claimer.
4 kilo claimer, say, set him a light sage and see if you can do a Pride of Jenny and they can be caught napping behind you. Maybe that's the fly in the ointment today, because... I think if Buates is allowed to just stroll along up in front, it's probably going to be very, very hard to run down.
Speaking of our riders in this race, Melia Castle's a good story, of course, having been based up north and coming down here to Victoria and rode
the horse in Queensland, Mystic Mac.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
so she's the stable, well, she's been the rider for its last 5 at least.
Yeah, and has already ridden a winner down here at Moonee Valley the other night with Van Roy and got on a bit of a winning run. So a new name in the form guides here as well, and had a bit of success already. So good to see for those that are scouring the form guide and not quite sure of the backstory there, Sam.
Yeah, we were on Friday, I believe, here at Mornington, and Amy Argy was our on-course correspondent. Did a wonderful little piece with her, had a good chat to her about being down here and how she's going.
Buate's been $2.20 into an odds-on quote of $1.95 in the last couple of minutes. Jessup now $3.30. They dominate the late betting.
So a field of 4 for race number 6 of the program, TB. So this is all yours to take away. What about the winner of the previous race in Azizel? You're pretty confident a fair way from home.
Never going to get beat, boys, I didn't think. And it sounds like old Sam was a little bit stressed about it all. But, yeah, there was no worries. He was always going to win. He fell in the hole late, just over-raced himself a bit. It's good to have the Mars stable here. We had a good chat with the boys yesterday regarding coming here to with Daniel, of course, coming to Pakenham and setting up. And Mystic Mac, geez, he looks beautiful. His coat, you could not get a horse with a healthier coat. Buates is always going to look well. He's a jet black Lonhro, so he's always going to be an eye catcher, a bit of a handsome boy, pretty boy. But Mystic Mac looked absolutely beautiful in the sun. His coat was gleaming through. Anyway, they're about to move up. Buates still has a bit to learn. When he won his maiden, he came back gelded and got the job done. Milo, not sure where he's at the moment. He was satisfactory first up. Jessup to move in and Mystic Mac to be the last. But punters very keen on Buates. Buates into a shade of odds on. Jessup given a chance of knocking him over with Sage Jurik's claim. So here's Jessup about to move in. Been a beautiful afternoon. Conditions could not be any better. And they're set to go. Only 4 to run. Williams comes out for Buates and punters are aboard. All set. And the field of 4 on their way. Milo couldn't muster when the gates open. Buates flew the coop. Jessup moves up a neck away. 2 lengths to Milo, and on the outside, just easing a bit now, is Mystic Mac. Over the top of the track they go, and Buates is just a little bit keen in front. He wants to run. He's being held back by Williams as Mystic Mac shoots around the field. Jessup's between them, and Milo's on the fence. Buates at a pretty moderate clip leads the way. Mystic Mac a loud run on the outside by Melia Castle to join the favourite. Jessup's in the centre for Sage Jurik, and a length and a half away Stackhouse on Milo, who looks to be well and truly at his top. Buades is being nursed in front. The other two have joined him, Jessup and Mystic Mac, who's about to drop off by the looks of things. And Milo still at his top, a length and a half away. Buades, Williams at the moment swinging against the favourite. He turns in front. Milo's a length and a half away. The others are struggling. Buades in front. Milo's chipping away. Buades needs the pace. Milo's got him. Milo moved up on the outside of Buades. Takes the lead. Buades tries to kick, but Milo does him good and proper. Wins by a neck on Buades, Jessup, and last of all was Mystic Mac. Well, he was at his top coming off the back straight all the way, but he just kept chipping away, just kept on coming. And it's good to see him back in the winners list. He was very good the first day he won a race, and then everything went pear-shaped. And then last time out, he got probably a tick to say that he run okay without being brilliant. He was a drifter in the betting. Buades got a little bit of pressure, but they didn't go fast in front. He honestly had every chance in the world. And Jessup finishing third, Mystic Mac tiring out of it after going up off a very slow tempo. They walked in that early. It was really just a dash home. And Milo tracked the favourite, trained by Philip Stokes. Daniel Stackhouse riding for the first time. Luke Nolan's been aboard 2 of his 3 starts. And we send our best out to Luke. Jeez, he's had a terrible run with injuries, and particularly with his back the way it's been over recent times. That's the last thing he needed the other day. Buades had his chance. He was nursed in front, looked good coming to the bend, and as soon as they straightened up, you looked across your shoulder and you went, there's a problem. Here's Milo, and Milo was coming on too well. Jessup third and Mystic Mac finishing fourth. 110.95 is the time recorded. Inright went 110.67, so as you can see, they've gone pretty slowly in front. 3/4 by 4. Karen Marshall represents the stable. She's trackside now with Nick.
That was pretty good, Karen. Good win in the end. He looks like he took a fair bit of improvement from that first up run.
Yeah, he was a bit unlucky at Ballarat, and today he seemed to be quite on the ball.
He was very well backed on debut. He started $1.50 and absolutely bolted in at Pakenham. He's got a bit of ability, this horse. He might be finally putting it all together.
Yeah, he's a funny little dude. He's taken a while, I think, but yeah, hopefully he goes on.
What's his temperament like?
He was a little bit spooky today, but he's pretty quiet. He's a good chat.
Well, he's coming back now, so we'll let you grab him. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done to all involved with the victory of Milo, who gets the job done and overruns Buades late in the piece for Daniel Stackhouse, who hits the scoreboard for this afternoon for the Stokes team, and also those involved at Regal Bloodstock. He's got a nice pedigree behind him, a son of Deepfield that they paid $225,000 for at the Gold Coast. 4 starts now, Sam, for 2 wins.
Yeah, I said it was. I thought it was a little bit of D-Day for the horse, because today he didn't really have the excuses that he's had in his last couple of being too far back to affect the finish. So he was able to sit much closer today, and that was a good win for Stacky, who was the short price jockey challenge favourite early in the day, but it's the first time he's been able to trouble a scorers at this point.
So race number 6 of the program sees Daniel Stackhouse a winner. He'll make his way over to Nick Noonan shortly and tell him how he did it. Of course, as we can see there in the Regal Bloodstock colours, this time for the Stokes team this afternoon, who make the trip up the road from Pakenham worth their while on this Wednesday afternoon. Stacky is with Nick now.
Dan seemed to be a bit of an interesting race in the early stages, but you were just happy to watch it unfold, and he was too good in the end.
Yeah, obviously a 4-horse field, and they can be a bit like that. Craig will try to control it, and my bloke's, he's not the bravest sort of horseman behind him. He does show a little bit of ability, but he's just not real brave. So I knew where I was going to end up, and I just had to make sure I was on top of him to make him travel and be as close as he could. Had a little giggle to myself how the race sort of unpanned, and it worked out perfectly for us and got the gap at the right time, and he was just too good.
To give you the feel of a horse that can really go on with it now?
Yeah, he's very frustrating, you know, like I said, he is a bit horse shy and he's probably not the bravest and amongst other horses. So that probably lets him down, but he seems to be getting better the more racing he's going to do. So hopefully he can go on with it now.
You seem to have a good association with these colours. You always seem to get a winner in them for Regal Bloodstock. Always good to get it with a nice bunch of owners here on course.
Yeah, they always seem to support me, and it's always nice to reward them. So it's another good win for them.
Well done.
Thank you, cheers.
He's got a good one later in the day too. We were talking only prior to this race, Sam, about Scotty's legacy in the final event of the program. But let's pick it up here. Field of 4, back last, the winner Milo at this point.
Willow up on speed. They put the brakes on mid-race. Malia Castle shot around, well, halfway around on Mystic Mac. And then she half pulls up. I've got the feeling she maybe should have just kept rolling and gone to the front when the speed slackened. And that horse just got posted 3 deep and was under pressure and was disappointing. Mystic Mac, you can see there a long way out in the middle of the track. The pace was only steady through those early stages, as we know. Meanwhile, as they start to quicken, you see Milo off the back. Stacky has to pull the whip a couple of times here. Very interesting comments around not being the bravest of horses amongst horses. We talked pre-race about recently he's been in big fields getting too far back. Everything went right today. He was able to get the good suck run off the back. He's got good ability. We know that from the debut, and he was able to show that today. But things did go right. So I'd just be wary of following form out of this race, just the way that they slackened off through the middle stages. I think Buade is probably a bit better than that. I know TB was keen to say he had every opportunity, but I just wonder whether Willow had have just allowed him to roll a little bit more middle stages. We might have seen a more truly run test late. And all honours, the winner who was under a good ride by Daniel Stackhouse there and got the job done. But yeah, very tricky race, I think, going forward to be wanting to follow form out of.
6 down, 2 to go. Stay tuned to racing.com on this Wednesday afternoon.